Live. In all the
Mm,
places. Live. I'm live in the space. I'm gonna switch my audio over there.
Yep, I just joined.
There. Need this.
Wow,
Requested. Add a speaker. We are back in action after
we're
no,
back.
like kind of like a 1-2 week just a hectic first 2 weeks of July. So I feel like the shows, the when soon shows and the other shows weren't as consistent as we like them to be, but we're getting back to where we were in terms of our regularly scheduled programming. But in the pre-show, well, let me do a quick audio check for Mitch and Eric, and then we'll jump into the first thing I got. But Mitch, you want to try saying something real quick?
Greetings, fellow crypto heads.
Greetings from a planet unknown. All right, we got you loud and clear. Eric. Oh, he's not a speaker anymore. Let's see here. I see Spaces is already giving us trouble because I can't even see half the audience, but whatever.
Awesome.
It's been really bad lately. All right, audio check. I think you're muted on the Zoom, Eric. I can hear you on Spaces though.
That's weird because it's not
Oh,
showing as muted on Zoom.
wait, try one more time, Eric. No, can't get. I don't hear you on Zoom.
I don't hear him on Zoom either.
Nope.
Strange.
I can hear you on Spaces, but not Zoom.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe.
hear him at all.
Oh,
Nope.
he's
Always
gone.
reset,
Reset,
log
reset.
out, log in. That's
Well,
always
yeah, we'll give him a second for that. But I was gonna jump into meme coins a little bit because we were talking pre-show about it. Oh, he's back. But Eric has a take on meme coins that I want to ask him about. But while we get his audio going, what's your take on the current meme coin situation, Mitch?
gamble, gamble, gamble. I mean, that's the really only enticement to me. I'm like, holy shit. Like just reading articles about people turning $1,000 into like 100 grand in like the matter of days. I'm like, what? And then obviously, lately I've been going on Deck Screener to check on the one meme coin that I got in that I've actually been in for like a couple of weeks now. And like I said, I'm up on, but just being greedy. But when you go on Deck Screener, you just see like the hot coins up top. And it was like every coin was a coin that was just launched that was some kind of play off of, the Trump assassination attempt. And then also like even when he announced his VP, all of a sudden there was a Vance coin. And it's just like, and you see these things and they've literally like, it's like up 1000%. And it's literally been active for like 3 hours. And it's just like, that's the play, I guess, is to create the coin, right? And then just hope you get that initial meme coin hype pump and then cash out in a matter of hours. Um, it's comical. Like 90% of those coins do nothing or are going to do nothing. But then there's the meme coins that, you know, get a little legs, get a following, all that stuff. But yeah, I just feel like the Solana-based meme coins is like the Las Vegas of the crypto world.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of crazy action on these meme coins. I actually just met somebody what was it, like 2 or 3 days ago, and she invested she's big into like real estate. So we were talking like real estate stuff. And then she said that she invested in crypto a long time ago. But then like forgot about it and then suddenly got back into like meme coins because I think like her son told her or something. And she made 8 figures in meme coins. cashed it out. And literally looked at her and I was like, I have not touched a meme. She's like, how many meme coins do you have? I was like, zero. I don't touch meme coins. Honestly, I'm too busy to pay attention to meme coins, so I just don't touch them. But I looked at her and I was like, holy shit. I was like, I
That's
hope
what
you
I'm
cash
saying.
those out. And she was like, I cashed most of them out, but I'm all in on this meme coin. And I was like, okay. But yeah, it's Mitch is mad.
No, just
It's
like,
crazy. No, I mean, you hear stories like this, and it's just, I mean, for every person like this, there's plenty of people who lost a lot of money, but
well, I mean,
when I
there's
heard her say that, I was
thousands.
like, oh my God, it's just crazy.
There's thousands of people that lost. Like, it's not, it's people forget like how, stocks and
It's
and
PvP
any,
at the end of the day.
yeah, like if you know if someone cashes out $1 million, in a meme coin, well, there's thousands and thousands of people that basically, either are losing that money or will lose that money. You know what I mean? There's got to be a buyer and a seller on both ends. So,
Yeah.
um, you know, when those people are cashing out big money like that, most likely they're probably selling tops.
Yeah.
But,
And I mean, just like you said, Mitch, the play is to actually make the meme coins. Of course, not
right?
everyone can do that. The problem is that a couple of months ago, there was this new, well, recently created platform where anybody could just create any kind of meme coin without actually knowing any line of code or having
Sweet.
anything. It's called Pump Fun, and
Of course it is.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
for people like the cat that have no coding skills.
yeah, and pretty much people can just launch anything, and they will be able to pump the shit out of it. And in the end, the problem is that all of this liquidity that usually around this time of the market, like you would start seeing how the market's starting to get hot, and maybe the good altcoins and the layer twos, etc., are starting to get some liquidity and some volume. But right now you're seeing that it's only Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the meme coins. Why? Because everyone is trying to chase that 100x or that 1000x. And I was just telling Carl a couple of days ago that the thesis that I'm sticking more to right now is that we're not gonna see an altcoin season like the ones we saw in previous years where everything pumped and it was just a sitting chair game where you just need to get out before the biggest clown in the party. But I don't think that's gonna happen this time. I think that only a handful of altcoins with real utility are going to actually pump. And all of the other ones are just going to wait and wait and wait, and they're going to see that, oh, it's not an out season yet. Just how hang on to your coins, don't sell, blah blah blah, and they're just gonna end up holding coins that never actually pumped because the meme coins are taking all of that liquidity and all of that attention, because in the end it's an attention game. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty savage this time around. I don't think we'll see a lot of winners uh, this time.
Yeah, I when you messaged me that thesis, I think that that's kind of happening right now. And it's not completely new. I mean, that's why they say, history doesn't necessarily repeat, but it does rhyme. We've seen various we've seen various um cycles where there's like these different narratives that kind of arise before, alt season and stuff. So like, we had the DeFi summer, then before that, you just had kind of the general altcoin like ICO type craze where everyone was going after those ICOs. Um, so I feel like with every cycle, there's like some new narrative of like gambling that comes out, which is natural. I mean, we come out of I think kind of like the psychology of it from my opinion is that you come out of a bear market, everybody is feeling dry, everybody's feeling broke, your portfolio's down a lot, a lot lot of us have kind of cycled out of Bitcoin and into various altcoins that we believe in. And when the altcoins aren't going up, we feel broke. And then you hear about these people like I just described who are, making ungodly amounts of money doing, these gambling scenarios. And then you decide, okay, well, maybe I need to get in. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, when she told me that, I was like, maybe I should buy a meme coin and just gamble a little bit. But then I just, it's a quick thought, and then I remind myself that it's just complete gambling, complete, stroke of luck. At the end of the day, I mean, there's obviously research you can do and knowing the right people and whatnot, but in general, I'm much more of a fundamentals type person and a long-term investor. So I would rather, make my bets on things like, Leo and Thorchain and Hive and Cacao and Bitcoin, and then just sit on those and wait for the long-term thesis to play out while everybody else gambles. But you do see that, I think that the psychology is that a lot of people are just gambling because they, feel the need to make some money, and then they see other people making money and they're not making money. And then they're like, okay, well, now I need to get in. And then you have that huge hype bubble. But eventually it does burst, in my opinion. So, I mean, these meme coins are going to, the rise of meme coins and people becoming millionaires is going to come to an end at some point. And I do think a big reason why you see like Bitcoin going up, like Eric said, like Bitcoin's going up, Ethereum's going up a little bit, and then you've got all the meme coins. I think what happens is people make money on things like meme coins. We saw the same thing in like DeFi summer. People make money on meme coins, and then they when they take profits, they actually take the profits into Bitcoin. So that's why you see Bitcoin kind of rip up along with the meme coins. But you don't see it happening with altcoins necessarily because, not everybody's going to take their meme coin profits and move into various alts. So, that all being said, I do still have a belief in, there's kind of like this value capture, real revenue narrative that's kind of circling. And I've been a believer in it for a long time, that there's certain protocols and platforms out there that are focused on revenue. And those platforms are the ones that are going to succeed in the long run. Much like on the stock market, like you can have, things like the tech bubble back in, in 2000. And, the big difference is a couple companies came out of that and became absolute, behemoth monster market caps. So, you've got the Apples of the world and Amazon and, certain companies, Google, certain companies that were able to build a real business model behind the hype. Like the hype was happening, but then a real business model was being built. And that's why they're still around today, and they ultimately accrue, the majority of the value. So you kind of see that cycle play out in various markets. And I think it's going to play out in crypto as well. That being said, it could take a long time for that to play out. Like this meme thing could last for another 6 months before that plays out. So, that all being said, it's important to understand where the cycle is at, in my opinion. But that, like, don't necessarily get sucked into the idea that you have to play every play. You don't have to shoot every shot. And yeah, I would stick to what are good
Someone
at
tell
and
Bronny
passionate
that.
about. What's that?
Nothing. I was making a basketball joke. Someone asked, how is meme coins beneficial than any other coin? And the answer is it's not. It's just straight speculation, gambling, and money grabs.
Yeah, I mean, meme coins are as valuable as like casino games, right? Like it's as valuable as what value does blackjack have for society? It just lets people speculate. Yeah, it's entertainment. So if you look at it as entertainment, then there you go. But that being said, there are people out there who look at something like blackjack and they think of it as a way to get rich. And usually those people are not very wealthy. So.
But
yep.
Thinking about it like very, very raw and cold, if you think about it, like 99% of the space, it's also speculation. Right now, there are like all of these serious projects that you see that you see around. They have a use case, probably, yes. They have a community, yeah, but are they making money? Are they doing something good for society? Do they have a utility? Like a real utility? No, we're just investing in these coins because of the speculation that at one point that utility or that revenue models or whatever are actually going to pay off. But right now the space is not there. And like the second part of this thesis is that, okay, yeah, meme coins are sucking dry up, like are sucking dry all of this liquidity, and all of these utility projects are not getting any volume. But after this bull market, the handful of projects that actually bring in utility revenue models, et cetera, that work, these are going to become the behemoths of the space. And then there's not going to be like there's not going to be any space left for projects that do not come with actual utilities, working utilities. Like there's a lot of real RWA, real world asset projects right now that have been working to get their utility going since the last bull market. So they have been going at it for 4 years, and only now they are going to see their time for pumps. So I don't know. I do think that meme coins are shit. I do think that I actually made a few bucks out of meme coins, and I know it's not it's just a roulette. But if you think about it, there are only a handful of projects like INLEO where you have utility, where you have a flywheel, where you have like tangible things to hold on to, and not just speculate about the price and say, oh, I think that this coin, people will buy this coin because it has the good chills, it has the good calls, etc., and thus I'm investing on it. But in reality, it's just vaporware. So yeah, I think that after probably in 2026, we're gonna see only real projects go out, and all of the bullshit ones are just gonna pump a little bit and go out. But we are no longer in a space where I don't know, 1,500 projects pump just because there's speculation about them and people will buy them just to make a quick buck.
Yeah, you have to. I do think you need to adapt with the market, and it changes, and some people get stuck in old ways of thinking. So, like I said, history will rhyme, but it won't necessarily repeat. So you got to make sure that you're, especially from my thesis on how I invest. Obviously, I'm looking at, a handful of projects. Really, I mean, really less than like 6 to 8 investments at any given time. And betting on the long-term success of them. So, being that kind of investor, you do have to be careful and make sure that you're understanding the broader market, in addition to your strategy. So while I don't, really mess around with meme coins at all, I actually don't think I've ever bought a single meme coin. I think I shorted Doge one time. Like that's really it. And I did.
I don't even feel like that
that
counts as a meme coin anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even think so. So yeah, it's important to pay attention to the narratives and be able to adapt with them. But yeah, I mean, kind of legging that into talking about Leo, it's we easily could become the type of project that just chases the latest trend and meme. And I do see that there's other projects out there that are kind of doing that. But that's never been what we do. We adapt, kind of like what I said. We adapt and pay attention to the broader market, and we may even dabble and experiment in those arenas. But the business model remains the same, and it hasn't really changed. That we're chasing real revenue. We're looking to build a real user base with real value capture. So when you look at premium or Leo ads or Leo decks and the methods of capturing value into the Leo token, they don't really. They're kind of standing the test of time. They're like time-tested things. Like you've got a subscription model that, obviously that's like one of the golden revenue streams is a subscription model. You've got ad revenue, which has, been around since basically the internet started. And then even before the internet, obviously you have like trad ads. And then you've got, Leo decks, which is, one of the oldest ways of making revenue in the crypto game is for exchanges who facilitate trading and then make a percentage on it. So these are like time tested ways of capturing value, and that's what we're focused on. So so yeah, I saw a good kind of double question here. Well, not question, but statement. Some people were talking about the Hive price, and then Self-Help for Trolls said, we have a much stronger base than most projects, but we lack new buyers and fluffy hype, pumping and not dumping. If we can ever get onboarding together, we'll be on fire. And then he kind of followed that up and he said, when shorts and Leo AI are running glitch free, you start going hard on outreach, we'll be kicking ass. So kind of the general theme there is we have been building all this technology for a long time. We've been refining it. Eric and I have done some meetings recently with some different people in the crypto ecosystem, talking to them, onboarding them. We onboarded an influencer last week, and we've been kind of walking him through both INLEO and Leo decks. And you may have seen the space we did last week. It was with Godman and a couple other people. So we've been putting ourselves out there and onboarding new people to the Hive blockchain through INLEO, and it's been working pretty well lately. And we're just continually refining that approach. So, onboarding is not an easy problem to solve. Obviously, if it was an easy problem to solve, like, Hive would have 1 million monthly active users, and every other crypto platform out there would have millions of monthly active users, but that's just not the case. And the reason why is because onboarding, I would say, is probably one of the hardest problems to solve. Because you not only need good technology, you need good you need good marketing to put yourself in front of the right potential user. Then you have to walk the user through, getting started. So you have to have a good user experience. You have to be pretty bug free, because users are not going to be very forgiving. Brand new users, that is, are not going to be very forgiving of bugs when they come in. So you have a lot of it's essentially a juggling act, and you have a lot of balls in the air that you have to juggle in order to make onboarding successful. So, it is a really difficult problem to solve, and something that we spend a lot of time on, in addition to building up all of our technology and everything else. So I do agree, though, that like with that general sentiment, which is why I wanted to reiterate it on the space, because, onboarding will solve, I mean, it doesn't solve every problem, but it does solve a lot of problems. Scaling the user base, brings in revenue. It allows you to build better technology. It makes the platform, the engagement on threads and blogs more active and cool to look at and fun for people who are new. So onboarding is really essential to long-term success. And I would say that if we aren't growing the monthly active user base, then we're slowly dying, even if you stay the same. So you don't want to stay the same. You don't want to stagnate. You need to keep growing at all costs. So that's been a pretty heavy focus lately, is, how can we be better about onboarding people, make the experience as good as possible. Sunseeker has been doing some really good work. IRL, she has been working with the university to onboard people. And then also, while onboarding people, and especially because she's doing it in person, she's able to gather a lot of data and feedback on people's experience when they first used INLEO to create a Hive account and then start engaging on the blockchain. So we're able to use that. She's putting that feedback together, and then we're able to use that to refine the onboarding experience and the sign up process and make it even better. Dal's actually sent me a report today that the number one, he just posted a blog post, the number one account that is onboarding new accounts on the Hive blockchain is Leo.voter. So we are the number one onboarder in terms of new accounts being created. So that being said, working on retention, working on, overall engagement with those new accounts, that becomes really important. So I would say we're starting to do a much better job of getting new people onto the platform. And now the key is, how do we refine our ability to retain them, keep them coming back, keep them active, get them earning some Leo and Hive, get them addicted to the platform in much the same way that we all got addicted, whenever we joined this blockchain. It's really hard is all I could say. Like it's very difficult, but it's definitely achievable. And I think one common theme for Leo, in the 5 years that we've been building, is that we we set these big targets, we set these long-term goals, and we always achieve them at some point. So it may take longer than you think, but whether it's announcing that we're going to build something like Project Blank, or Leo AI, or Leo Dex, and getting Leo available on cross-chain dexes. Like, we always set these really large targets that seem impossible at the time, and then we end up achieving them. So yeah, I'm going to be pushing the team really hard these next couple months to get to 10,000 monthly active users. I think it will be a complete game changer for the way the platform feels, looks, and how the Leo token performs in this cycle.
Nice. I wasn't aware that we were the top, well, that Leo Voter was the top onboarder account. And that's even considering that there's a lot of initiatives out there, well, not a lot, but a couple that are striving to make onboarding a success, like Vives, for example, and they're not using Leo.voter. So yeah, that's pretty nice to learn about.
Yeah. Yeah, and I saw, let me pull some questions. Where did this one go? I lost it. Ahmad Manga said retention is greater than onboarding. It's not helping if we're onboarding people only to have them leave in a few days. It's actually not that retention is more important than onboarding. It's that it's almost like a multiplication factor. Like, you need onboarding and retention, because if you're not onboarding, then there's nobody to retain. And if you're not retaining, then you're just like, it's like pouring water into a bucket with no bottom. Like, it's you have to have both at the end of the day. So you really need to have and you're not going to retain everyone. I think that's kind of the forgot who I was talking to, but someone was talking about the retention rate of the people that we onboard, and saying that we had a low retention rate. That you're not going to retain everybody, and you can't cater to everybody at the same time. So you have to pick and choose who you're going to cater to. You can't make everybody happy. That's like one of the most oldest adages in the world, is that you can't make everybody happy. So you got to really pick your audience, and understand that audience, and then cater to that specific audience. So retention, you're never going to have 100% retention rate. So you got to figure out, okay, well, if we're not going to have 100% retention rate, what can we do to make what retention rate we do have the best possible percentage. And also, we want to retain the right users, because you could also retain the worst group of users that you're on. Like, you could onboard a large group of users and retain the worst percentage of them. So there's actually a lot of factors and variables to retaining people in general. So we need to really focus on who we're retaining, and what their activities look like over time. So collecting data, and Eric's been pretty heavily focused on SQL lately. So collecting data and making sure that we're retaining a good percentage of people, and also the right people is really important. So that's been a pretty heavy focus for us.
Yeah. Caleb Marvel, one thing is to bring people on board, and another thing is for them to be serious on their activities. And that's the thing. I think that INLEO has activities for every kind of user. So you don't really have to make them make videos, or force them to make blog posts with 750 long words. Yeah. And Cal, speaking of which, how's video on INLEO going? Now that I mentioned video, I remembered.
Yeah, we've been really focused on video lately. You guys saw we pushed a new update. It had a couple new features in it, along with a lot of infrastructure changes. So there was like about an 18-hour period where you guys noticed some bugs, and I saw some people completely lose their minds, which I always find to be really funny. You can build a stagnant platform, and if you can build a stagnant platform and not innovate, and then have a very stable experience. I mean, that's a pretty easy thing to do, actually. Like, I would bet every penny I have that if we stopped adding new features to INLEO and only did bug fixes, we would have the most flawless user experience imaginable. There would be almost no bugs. It would be so stable, so fast, and so smooth to use the platform. But that being said, do you want a platform that has no innovation, or do you want a platform that has innovation and then rapid bug fixing and stability improvements? And I much prefer the latter. And there were some people that jumped in the INLEO Discord and were saying that that's not how you build software and things like that. And I think that they're not building software at scale. So if you're building software at scale that's used by over 1,000 people on a daily basis, it's literally impossible to push new features and not have bugs in those features. So if you're building a platform that has 1 million monthly active users, and then you've got 10,000 of those monthly active users that are using like a labs version, so a testing interface, so that you can test things and then push them to the broader public, then obviously the broader public is going to have a much more stable user experience. That being said, we've tried the labs approach, and frankly, we just don't have a big enough user base. So we need to, we push features to production quickly so that you guys can find the bugs, we can fix them quickly, and then keep moving forward. So I think there's a reason why when you look at INLEO and you compare it to really any other interface out there, whether it's on the Hive blockchain or outside of the Hive blockchain, and you just look at broader crypto projects, there's a reason why we innovate so quickly and our interface is constantly improving and changing, and we're adding a lot of dynamic features. The reason for that is because we're not afraid to break things. And I pull a lot of inspiration for that from like Elon Musk, being obviously like a good, modern day example of this, that, breaking things and, being willing to pick up the pieces and then make them better the next time is the best way to innovate. So, people can continue to complain about that approach. And, some people get mad when I say, well, if you don't like it, you can use a different UI. That's frankly, again, like I just said, you want to retain the right users and you want to understand your audience. And in my opinion, the people that we're looking for are the ones that are looking for, a bleeding edge experience that's constantly improving. And again, the whole theme of this call is, the future of Web3. We're not going to get to the future of Web3 by being slow to innovate, creating a very, very stable experience, but one that doesn't change much. That's not going to be how we get to the future of Web3. We're going to get to the future of Web3 by blowing up a lot of rockets, so to speak. So we're gonna keep pushing new features and keep breaking stuff, and rapidly improving from there. So to get back to the original question, the videos have been so the recent update, pushed a lot of infrastructure that included a lot of stuff for videos and also for shorts. We've been testing the long form video publishing. It's not on the production UI yet. It's on the private testing one for the team. So we've been testing the video feature. We've got a couple more things that I want to improve before we release it publicly, because I just don't want it to be, I don't really want there to be many issues when it goes live. That being said, like I just described, we're going to push it and there's going to probably be some issues. So be ready for that and provide feedback when you see them so we can fix them quickly. But we're improving that experience for the long form videos, and then we're building the architecture for shorts right now. Shorts is going to be, I don't think anyone's really expecting what we're doing when it comes to shorts, on INLEO, because the actual infrastructure and architecture needed to do what we're trying to do with shorts doesn't exist. So we actually have to create it ourselves. ThreeSpeak has created the broad architecture needed, but there's certain things that don't exist in order to make it for threads. So we have to actually adapt certain things, much like we did with the Hive blockchain and threads. Before we created threads, there was no way to do short form content at scale on the Hive blockchain. And the way that we worked around that was through the containers model. So you guys all know this. There's an account that we have, which creates a big container And then when you guys make a thread, it's a comment underneath that larger container. So we have to actually create a similar container approach for 3Speak Shorts, which I think, you know, a lot of people weren't expecting that we had to do that. So in order to do Shorts at scale, we have to actually create a new container approach, like what we did for Threads. So you know, that's why it's been taking so long. And we've been you know, we've been working really hard on that architecture and getting it ready, especially to be ready at scale. You know, there's certain limitations on the Hive blockchain that are requiring us to build some extra things in scalability wise, because many of you guys know this, but you can only post once every 5 minutes. So if we want the ability to post more than, you know, one short every 5 minutes for the entire user base, we have to scale that part. And then we also have to scale the we essentially have to add a feature where if multiple people upload, you know, let's say that suddenly, you know, 20 people make a short at the same exact time of day, upload them all at the same time. We actually have to have a way for those to get queued up because they all can't get posted at the exact same moment with the current scale. But as shorts grow, we'll be able to scale that up. So it's been a fun little exercise, kind of like how we built Threads and we went through multiple iterations to get to the final product that you guys see today. It's requiring a lot of work for us. So Luis88 asks, will video storage be on 3Speak, INLEO infrastructure, or IPFS? It's on 3Speak. So long form videos are on 3Speak, shorts are on 3Speak as well. And we've been working with the 3Speak team on the long form stuff. But yeah, I think when shorts get released, you guys will see kind of the approach that we took, and I think you guys will be impressed. I mean, from my opinion, I hope you're impressed. But the shorts are going to be really fun. I think we're going to all have a lot of fun with it. It's going to work. You know, the UI is going to look a lot like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, etc. And you know, just the general approach of it, I think, is really innovative and fun to use. It's again really similar to Threads, and something I actually talked about in the last AMA about upvoting and curation. You know, on social media, when you like something, it's meant to be, you know, you like it because you like it, right? Like you read something, you're like, oh, that's good, I like that, so let me click the like button. Or you watch something and you like it, so you click the like button. But on Hive and Hive-based social media, the upvote button has really gotten kind of convoluted in a certain way where it's like you don't necessarily upvote something or like something because you actually like it. You know, there's a lot of other financial factors and whatnot to upvoting something. And what we're trying to do with the entire INLEO platform is bring back just the ability, you know, or I mean, essentially bring about the, you know, with Web3, the enjoyment factor of like you read something or you watch something and you like it because you like it, or you reply because you want to. You know, there's no, you know, it's just bring back the fun is really what I want to do. And I think shorts will be a really great way to do that. It's going to be very, like right now, if you want to post a short on the Hive blockchain, it goes to a top level post. So there is an element of like you have to have a certain level of quality to what you're doing. And what Threads did for engagement on Hive is now you guys can post whatever you want and you don't have to worry. Like you can make any thread you want, and it's low. It's a low quality filter or low requirement, social requirement, if you want to say it that way, where you don't have to worry about what people think, or, you know, you can just post an image with no text if you want to as a thread, because it's not a top level blog post. You're not going to get hate from, you know, the broader blockchain about what you're doing. So with, you know, our integration of 3Speak Shorts, I'm pushing the team to make the same thing possible with short form video. So you'll be able to post anything you want and not have to worry about, you know, not have to worry about the social pressure of what you're posting, because I really believe that kind of ruins the social media experience. So we're working really hard on shorts right now. So that's why you guys are probably seeing a little bit, I wouldn't even say a lack of features. I mean, there's been a couple features that have rolled out, you know, the new upvote button and a couple other things, but you know, you're going to see a little bit of a lull in terms of the amount of features we roll out until shorts go out, because of how big of a project it is. I mean, it's like what I just described, it's essentially kind of like what we did to get to Threads. We had to build this entire architecture on the back end, and then we had to build the front end for it. And that's a lot of workload. So we're getting there though. I'm pretty happy with the progress, and I think we'll be there. I think we'll be in production sooner than you think.
When and soon.
Yep.
I feel like there might be something that already kind of is this experience, but I noticed Morton Matt said, need a Leo Hive wallet app all in one to appeal to the mobile crowd. Like, what's the closest thing that would be? I mean, is keychain kind of the closest thing right now?
For
Or
what,
is
a
it something
mobile
you
app?
can, yeah, no, like a wallet app, like from your phone. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
like,
Keychain's got one.
like I feel like keychain kind of is that in terms of like a Hive Leo wallet to an extent. I mean, I guess it's a matter of, being able to access all the things.
Yeah, I mean, the we haven't spent a lot of time on the wallet yet. That's going to be definitely an area of improvement in the next kind of month and 2 months. Um, but yeah, I mean, Keychain is pretty good for like general Hive wallet
Yeah, because I mean, you go to
activities.
keychain, yeah. I mean, you can look at your Hive, you can see what you have, and you can see your, um, your Leo. I mean, I guess it's everything that's liquid. Like I'm just looking at it real quick. Okay, yeah. It looks like it just shows liquid a assets.
Yeah, I mean, you can do pretty much everything, I think. Staking,
But
delegating.
yeah, well, hold on. Let's see if I click. Oh yeah, no, because then you click on the coin, it shows your stake balance. So yeah, I mean, I'm doing this on a web browser. I don't know what the experience is on the phone with Keychain, but I know you can because there's people that use Keychain on their phone. I am yet to do it. I'm just kind of old school. I don't really crypto on my phone.
Yeah, I use Keychain for a lot of different, like whenever I need to do anything on mobile, Hive wallet related. Keychain mobile is really good for that. And then,
Yeah,
for staking, delegating, transferring Leo tokens, etc. I just use INLEO.io on my web app mobile. Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
Well, I
it
mean,
works
at the
works
end
pretty
of the
well.
day, it looks like for the most part that environment already exists. There's between Keychain and just mobile wallet.
Yeah, and self-help for trolls just said, I know you guys want to focus on web, and I get that, but hope at some point we can have a light phone app or something like that just for threads. Yeah, I think at some point we may have a mobile app, but that being said, I would bet a lot of money that over the next couple of years, couple months and years, you're going to find that a lot of apps out there and projects out there start focusing more on web apps. There is a huge emerging narrative in the app store domination that's been happening, and the monopoly that is the iOS app store and the Android Google Play store. So it's I've actually seen multiple projects out there, including JP Thor's project. I think it was Voltisig, where he was talking about they were having issues with the iOS app store and looking into web app stuff as well. So I think I'm a big believer that we are on the right side of history in terms of focusing on a web app, and that being more important to mobile apps. And we actually do have a mobile app. We released it a long time ago, and then I decided to backburner it, and not focus on that code base because I wanted us to focus on the web app code base. Because I'm a firm believer that web apps are superior, for many different reasons. And then you can also backport a web app into a mobile app down the road. So that's why I say, at some point it's very likely we'll have the native apps, but building the web app code is the top priority. Especially being that we are, we're not a multi-billion dollar, business with, thousands of employees. So we have to pick and choose what we focus on. And that's a really important quality of our team. So, we're going to be we're going to be focused on the web app for the foreseeable future.
Unless I missed it, what is going on with Hive Engine? Is the Splinterlands threat related to that? Also, how are we going to protect the Leo? What are you hearing? I don't really know what Taskmaster is talking about. I mean, I know about the whole Splinterlands DHF topic, but I don't know what he's talking about. Hive Engine. Do you know, Carl?
Well, I'm sure I think what he's talking about is he's just relating that Splinterlands and Hive Engine are somewhat related. So if Splinterlands were to leave Hive, what would that mean for Hive Engine? I think is basically what his question is. And then, being that Leo is built on Hive Engine, what would that mean for Leo? We've long had, backup plans in place, just in case something were to ever happen to Hive Engine. I've talked about this before that we essentially run an entire database in parallel with Hive Engine's database, so that all Leo token holdings, transfers, transactions of any kind that are related to Leo are actually backed up. We basically have an entire backup copy of the entire Leo token economy. You've got VSC being built. So VSC is obviously, I think, probably one of the best things happening out there in terms of building a system that could, at the very least, run in parallel with Hive Engine, because I don't think Hive Engine's going anywhere. So I don't really think that threat is imminent or even a real danger. But you do need to be prepared for stuff like that, and I have long been prepared for that. I think probably for the last 3+ years we've been running that parallel database. So essentially what would happen is even if the entire Hive blockchain shut down, which is not going to happen, we would have the entire database of all the Leo transactions backed up, and then we could spin it up somewhere else. So whether that's VSC or whether that's on a different blockchain, there's always a backup plan out there. But that being said, I obviously don't think that there's any imminent threat on Hive. I don't think there's any threat on Hive Engine either. It is good to have a backup plan, but yeah, I'm not overly concerned with what we'll need to do in that scenario. I think we're pretty well covered. But yeah, I don't think Splinterlands is going anywhere. I know that their DHF proposal just went live, and there's been a lot of talk about it. You need to what's the word I'm looking for? You need to service and take care of the projects that are built on your blockchain. I think Splinterlands is one of the most important projects on the Hive blockchain, and I believe in supporting the things that are built that are actually using the blockchain, that are servicing a lot of users on your blockchain. So I would look at the percentage of MAUs that are on Hive in general. Look at what percentage of that Splinterlands is and represents, and then consider that importance that has on the entire ecosystem. So whether you're doing that for Splinterlands or you're doing that for Leo, I haven't looked at the latest Splinterlands numbers, but I would assume it's a very material percentage of the total MAUs of Hive are on Splinterlands, at the very least, as well as being on other Hive platforms, but also just exclusively being on Splinterlands. So, I would personally, and we already have, you don't even have to look at what we're saying. You can look at what we're doing. We're supporting the Splinterlands DHF proposal, because I am a firm believer that you need to support and take care of the projects that are successful and building on your blockchain. You look at other blockchains out there, Solana, really look at any of the blockchains that are out there. The ones that have projects that are built on them that are doing well tend to have some sort of funding or ties to the organization or the DAO or whatever runs the blockchain or is kind of behind the blockchain. They support that project in any way that they can, whether it's funding, whether it's marketing, whether it's really just general sentiment. You don't want to antagonize your best projects. And that's something that I think, being that Hive is so decentralized, we don't have that central organization of any kind that a lot of other blockchains have, where they're out there kind of driving the narratives. So, being that Hive is so decentralized, you have a lot of different viewpoints. And that's why you kind of have a lot of, back and forth and backlash and infighting and stuff like that. It is one of the double-edged swords of being decentralized. And you see that happening on Bitcoin pretty frequently. Like that's why Bitcoin's been forked so many times. Like you have disagreements when you're truly decentralized. So I think it's one of the superpowers of Hive is that it's so decentralized, but it also creates a thing where, it creates a little bit of a stigma where there are some people that don't agree with other people. And because we're a social blockchain and then, we have social media kind of driving us as well, we're all able to talk about it in certain groups. You get like cliques, almost like in high school, like you get little cliques that form. So some people are against other people, and that's just kind of the nature of human beings. So, I don't find it really concerning. In my opinion, I do think that you need to be aware of what's going on. And like I said, we've had a backup plan in terms of at least just backing up our database, so that if something catastrophic were to happen, we have a way out for Leo, because Leo's going to stand the test of time no matter what happens. So we need to have that backdoor and have something available to us. But I don't see any imminent threats from my perspective.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially because, if you think about it, without Splinterlands, probably a couple of years ago, we wouldn't have had such a massive influx of users and all that comes with that influx of users. So I do think it's just going to be a matter of time for their DHF proposal to just pass, and hopefully it will. So.
Yeah, and Self-Help for Trolls said, I worry about Hive Engine as a single point of failure for half the blockchain. Yeah, I think that's why VSC is so important and why a lot of people have been pushing for VSC. Hive Engine really has built something incredible for this entire blockchain. We were all looking for SMTs, smart media tokens. If you go back a long time in history, that was one of the things that kept me around on the legacy
That
blockchain.
was exactly what got me. That was the
That's
whole
what
reason
got
I
me
was
in.
on board with the Steam blockchain back in the day. The
Yeah.
SMTs that were gonna be a game changer and hitch my
Right.
wagon
Tokenize
to
everything.
Steve.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I was a huge believer in SMTs, and that's also why I invested heavily, both in terms of time and money, in the legacy blockchain. And then Hive Engine came out. Obviously it was called Steam Engine at the time. And I realized that we had SMTs were here now. So I don't think anyone should downplay what Hive Engine has brought to this blockchain. It's an incredible amount of value. So it's important. Again, speaking of supporting the projects that are important to your blockchain, I see a lot of flack towards Hive Engine, and a lot of people think I don't like Hive Engine for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. But there's, you need to support the different platforms that are built on your ecosystem. And Hive Engine is one of those important platforms. So I would love to see more support for Hive Engine publicly as well by a lot of these different groups. And that being said, the entire smart contract, idea that's out there, which is really what Hive Engine is being built by VSC as well, with Vaultec. And I think it's important to support that. So I'm not, people love tribalism. So by me even publicly saying that we should support VSC, I'm sure there's gonna be people out there who twist that into saying that I don't support Hive Engine, which is that's just, again, the nature of humans. But it's again, I will support any project that is gonna build this blockchain into a better blockchain. And I'm also not afraid to talk about projects that are not doing good things for this blockchain and are actually doing the opposite. So yeah, it's important to really look at, like I said, the users, look at the value that these projects are bringing to the chain, and support them. Don't talk negatively about them and shit on them. I mean, you can give them feedback, give them candid feedback, even if you want. Talk about the things that are wrong. I'm not saying that you can't talk about those things, but there is a lot of just kind of negativity, negative sentiment. And, it's, if we're all fighting with ourselves, if we're fighting amongst ourselves, then we're not going to grow. We can't fight the external enemy. And that external enemy is the reduction of MAUs, monthly active users. So, the enemy out there is that we start to lose users and we don't, grow in terms of the users on this ecosystem. And that is the true threat that's out there. So the more that we focus on fighting with each other, the less that we can focus externally on that bigger target.
Yeah, and I mean, we have said it plenty of times. If one dApp explodes, that means there's a lot of new users for Hive in general. And some of them will just waterfall into the other dApps. So there's no point in fighting what is happening inside the blockchain and what is like projects that are part of our blockchain. So, and I'm seeing here, Bitcoin flood, it's crazy. People will trash talk Hive engine, but not offer any type of solution to develop a layer 2 system for Hive. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, whether it's good or bad, it's our layer 2 for the whole blockchain right now. So why would you fight it? Yes, you can just give constructive criticism and maybe, as Carl said, candid criticism, which might borderline with FUD. But as long as you want to give it because you want the project to improve and to be better, I think that's okay. Sarah Jose, sorry, but I'm lost. What's SMTs? You would have to go way back 6-7 years back to
way back. Beginning of many of our crypto journeys.
But it's just
back when we
smart contracts, just to be short.
SMTs are something that will never happen. That's basically what you need to
like
that's basically everything you need to know.
Yes. Like Mr. Troll's self-help troll said, I'm still waiting for SMTs and for Dan to come back.
Yeah, you're gonna be waiting a long time. You're gonna be waiting a long time for that. Yeah, well, and that was the beauty of Hive Engine, is that it brought that to the to the blockchain, and it enabled Leo, it enabled Splinterlands and many other projects as well.
And you know what? And it did so on, I'm gonna say, somewhat on a somewhat limited level. Like Hive Engine has its limits, and that's why like the VCS project is interesting because it in a lot of ways can potentially improve upon Hive Engine. So that doesn't make Hive Engine, not useful or defunct. It just means like it's kind of like, back when I worked in corporate, the most annoying thing in the workplace was when people would say, well, this is the way we've always done it. It's like, well, that's great, but we can do it we can do it better now. Like, why would you not improve on it? So if there's a question, if there's an opportunity to improve, like I don't ever look at that as a bad thing. And that doesn't mean the original thing is a bad thing, right? It's no different than it's like, are you using the same operating system you were using 10 years ago on your laptop? Like, no. So
yeah.
Like, but something need to like that first, like version 1.0 needed to happen for version 5 to happen. Like, so I don't know. It's called like growth. So and change comes with growth. So anyway.
Yep. Yeah, some people get afraid of change, and that again kind of ties back into what I was talking about with innovation. It's in order to innovate, you do need to you need to break some things, and you need to be willing to evolve. Evolution is not a evolution is not a clean process. It's actually very messy when you look at it. Really in any form. Whether it's the evolution of humans or the evolution of animals or the evolution of a platform, you're essentially destroying the old to make the new. You're turning eggs into an omelet. So
yeah, I mean, look at social media, right? Everyone knows Facebook, but MySpace was there first. And us old enough for the MySpace days had a MySpace account. We loved MySpace. And then eventually it's just like Facebook was just at the end of the day a better tool. So
Yep.
things
Yeah.
change.
You got to build the best thing you can build and not be afraid of breaking the old. Well, when you look at like the most successful, businesses, ecosystems out there, they broke their own business model in order to be successful. So like, Amazon started as an online bookstore. Does that mean that Bezos was afraid to start selling things that weren't books? No, like he broke he disrupted his own business model in order to build, what Amazon became. So it really, you have to be willing to disrupt everything. You have to be willing to throw everything away to start new. I think that's one thing that our team does really well. I saw Self-Help for Trolls said, "Are you using the same operating system as 10 years ago?" He said, "Computer is 8 years old, praying for a big pump."
You know, that's funny because
Buy some
honestly,
meme
like,
coins, you'll be fine.
right, exactly. The laptop that I'm on now, I planned on replacing like a year and a half ago, but still rolling because same thing, waiting for that bull run.
Bull run, waiting for that bull run money, that new
Gotta get
computer
that bull
money.
run money, new computer money. Also, too, like, I'm not gonna lie, you know how it is too. When it comes to like crypto, especially, it's just like the migration from one machine to another is so annoying.
That's why you got to go Apple, cat. That's why you got to go Apple. You just put everything on iCloud and then you get a new computer, you press one button and it's everything you used to have.
You talking about, yeah, I'm talking about like crypto wallets and all stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know which crypto wallets you're using, but I mean, it's essentially an identical machine. You could throw your MacBook in the ocean, buy a new one, and it would be
Oh
identical to the old
wow.
one.
That's
Yeah.
next level. At the same time, Cat's trust issues doesn't know that he wants Apple having that much access to all his things.
You can encrypt it. You can encrypt it
Hence crypto. Um,
and crypto it.
yeah, interesting.
Is it even possible for a Hive account to be hacked since it's decentralized? I mean, it's as possible as it is to hack like a Bitcoin wallet. If someone steals your keys or your phrase, they're able to get access to your wallet. So
Yep,
very much the same thing.
yep. That is goes back to crypto 101. Do not share private keys.
Yep. Simple Game said Nintendo was a playing card company. Yeah,
Oh
I
wow.
actually didn't know that, but yeah,
I didn't know that either,
you know,
which like Simple Game just aged the shit out of himself with that comment. You even got me on that one, buddy. Maybe Task knew that. Oh, shout out
the
Simple
cat
Game.
is age shaming.
Uh,
He's an
yes,
ageist.
us old cats in crypto.
Uh, Ahmad Manga said, thinking on Adobe destroying its own business model right now to focus on AI. Sad for the users who've been loyal. Yeah, I don't really know everything about what Adobe's been up to, but yeah, I do know that AI is obviously going to change that a lot. Well, then so I used to actually be a heavy user of Adobe products. And then Canva came out, and it's been completely, really just continuously improving. And at this point, I mean, it's pretty much better than Photoshop used to be. It's easier to use. Yes, you have a little bit less customization, custom abilities, but in general, it's just so much faster and easier to use, especially for the use case I have, which is just to make, relatively simple, mock-ups, images, etc. It's better than Photoshop. So I actually am planning on canceling my Adobe subscription soon, because I just don't really use it anymore.
I never used Adobe.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a long time user of Photoshop, probably for more than a decade now, at least a decade. And then Adobe Premiere I used to use for video editing. Um, but yeah, now, like I said, now there's new tools that are out there that are easier to use, faster, lighter weight. So if you're not doing like crazy edits of videos or crazy edits in Photoshop, you can use things like Canva, and it's just as good, and actually even better because it's just more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canva is an awesome tool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Canva. Big fan. With me using different AIs on a day-to-day for different tasks, I can imagine Leo AI would change and turn around once it's launched. That's from Vic Fan. Yeah, I mean, what Leo AI is going to do is really supercharge, if you're using AI at any level right now, we were talking about this on the previous AMA. Using Leo AI will be possibly will replace the way that you use something like a Chat GPT, because it will essentially be as useful as Chat GPT for what you're already doing, but then it will also be trained on your high blockchain data. So yeah, it's a scenario where I really believe that your experience of Hive will be vastly improved.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. It'll force me to actually use AI because I openly admit I have not embraced. I think I've used ChatGPT like 2 times in my life thus far.
Yeah,
I need to get on board.
got to get on
Just
the
being
AI
lazy.
train, cat.
Yeah, just
When
being
when
lazy,
AI cat meme coin.
right? We're gonna launch it right now. It's gonna be on Solana meme coin. Everyone, get your Solana ready.
Get your Solana ready.
Cat AI coin. We'll pump it, cash out, and leave a bunch of bag holders, just as the meme coin world does on a day-to-day basis.
How it's
Yeah, I saw
supposed to
some
be.
some meme coin just rugged. Big one.
Ah, great.
Some big one.
Ruggage. But yeah, I mean, it's taken like, that's why, Eric's point earlier makes sense because right now it's just like, well, yeah, you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then it's like, well, what's going on with the alts? And think about all this money that's basically speculating on, like, and this has been going on for a while, um, speculating on these meme coins. Like, that's money that otherwise would have gone into like, more prominent altcoins, but instead, millions and millions and hell, more than millions, obviously. People are making millions individually, but it's like hundreds of millions of dollars is basically gambling on Solana meme coins that do nothing. Which,
Yeah.
if and that's fine if that's that's the hot spot right now, and that's Vegas, right now because you go back to I don't even know how many years ago it was now, like 4 years ago, or whatever it was, when everything went crazy with DeFi yield farming tokens, right? At the end of the day, that was a lot of gambling as well. So that was the hotness. So as far
Yep.
as the crazy speculation, meme coins
Meme
and particularly
coins.
Solana-based meme coins. So I mean, whatever. Like I said, I'm gambling on one, like nothing crazy. Vegas money. So probably should have went bigger because I'm already up 3x, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna sell because that's not like any kind of real win dollar wise. So holding out for a 10x or bust. That's why you
Yeah,
gotta go big, go big. So all you gotta do
go
is hit
big
a
or go
3-4xer, right? And then you're like, shit, I got paid.
home. When Anda said when Cal AI coin, you already have it. It's called Leo.
That is facts.
Leo is the
But
all encompassing
stop
coin.
stop giving me Solana meme coin ideas. I'm looking right now, like deck screener. It's just like this. Literally, there's been at least a dozen or more Donald Trump related coins that have been launched in the last like 72 hours. Like,
It's so weird because once any kind of social something happens, you like if you've been in meme coins for a while now, you just say, okay, there's gonna be memes about it, and then you just
yep,
go on Dex Screener, and yes, there was a lot. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was out with the family on Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. No, yeah, was it Saturday or Sunday? Can't remember, but I went out and I got into my Phantom wallet while having food, and I bought a couple of meme coins just because I knew the attention would be there, and I knew that people they love to gamble. And the thing is, what would you rather, like, who would you rather give money to? The VCs who are just waiting to dump on you, or some bozo from Solana that is probably going to rug you, but there's a better chance for you to actually make money. Whereas if you invest in in the 17th layer 2 of this year, and the VCs are just going to dump everything on you. So I mean, I totally understand why people go for meme coins. Totally
I
get it.
think I think we as a INLEO community, someone needs to start meme, a thread that is a meme about memes, like a
You
meme
know,
about meme coins. Like
you know
let's
what,
start a thread.
Kat, if anyone on any community just decided to, and I'm not giving I'm not saying go do it. I'm just pointing out the obvious. If anyone in any community joins with 19 other people and they decide to launch a meme coin, and they all decide to just diamond hand the shit out of it, the coin is going to explode. Because the problem is, the prisoner's dilemma is so much harder with meme coins, because you don't know if you can hold, because anyone else will just dump on your ass. But if you like, and that's why there's cabals in meme coins, because people just gather and say, hey, well, let's make this coin. Nobody's going to sell until we hit, I don't know, a $10 million market cap. And nobody does. The meme coin explodes, and then they sell when the coin is already flying. So I don't know, not giving anyone ideas, but a Leo meme coin would be pretty cool.
Could certainly happen. I'm creating a thread right now with a meme about memes. It's just a GIF that has basically all the, like it has Pepe and a few other ones. Like it shows them all in like a Jeep cruising down the road. Oh.
Thought you were about to say that you were creating a meme coin.
No, that would be too much work. I'm just creating a thread. Just creating a thread
Just a thread. Just a
with
thread.
the tag meme. I'll post
Vic
it in
Van said,
the
how would
thread.
AI powered content be moderated once Leo AI comes on board? Wouldn't they be flagged? So you won't be able to use Leo AI to just create like you can't just say, write me a blog post. But you will be able to use it, for example, to say, turn my blog post into a thread storm. And then it would take your blog post and then turn it into like 5 threads that are like summarizing your blog post and then linking out to it. That being said, I've mentioned this a few times. When Leo AI generates text and it gets published, there will be like a little asterisk or like a little icon. And if you hover over it, it'll tell you that this text was generated by Leo AI. So, our system will basically recognize any text that's been generated by Leo AI, and then it will tell you that it's AI generated. So, and I think that, and I've talked about this as well, I think that this is going to be a thing that happens in the, broader internet ecosystem. There's a lot of images, there's a lot of text, there's a lot of, doctored photos, and now even videos that are coming out, or doctored or AI created or manipulated. You can find plenty of videos and pictures of things that aren't real that people used AI to manipulate. And I think what's going to happen over time is you're going to see platforms like ChatGPT and Google's AI and others where they start to put an asterisk next to anything that's AI created. Because, as AI improves, it's going to be harder and harder to tell what is reality or what was created by a human and what is, fake or created by an AI. And that applies to images, text, videos, everything, even audio. I mean, there's a lot of I think like the biggest one right now is like Drake AI. So like a lot of people are creating fake Drake music using AI. So, and it's actually hard to tell. Like you listen to it and you're like, wait, did Drake come out with a new song or is this just AI? And usually it's just AI. So, there's going to be a need for, the ability to sort what is AI and what is human. We're going to build that into the UI as well. And then it'll be up to people who curate, do you curate someone who used AI to generate something, or do you not curate them? So that is kind of a community moderation policy. But what we'll do is make it obvious what is AI generated and what is not. Guri said, will Leo AI create images also? Yes, you'll be able to create images. So like there'll be a button when you're writing a blog post and you'll say, generate an image for my blog post. A meme about memes, meta meme.
Memes on memes on memes.
Plenty of memes out here. I would love to see more memes on Threads. I try to post them as much as I can.
Well, I just posted a meme. I posted a meme about meme coins, so feel free to jump on the train.
I saw that. I liked it. I liked it because I liked it, not
There you
because I had to
go.
upvote it.
But yeah, Cat is sort of curious now about launching meme coins.
Yeah, I saw
So
JP
weird.
Thor just launched a meme coin, and he's somehow rolling it into his broader Deca swap project. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
Nice. Time flies when you're having fun. We've been going for like almost an hour and a half.
Wow. Yeah. Wait, Leo AI can create images. Apparently,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, I'm not. Are we? Well, maybe you can give us more details about it uh later. But is it gonna be like Mid-Journey based or something like that, or?
No, it uses the same DALI that ChatGPT uses, so it's DALI
Okay.
based. So yeah, it's not quite as sophisticated because Midjourney is a little more sophisticated from an image generation standpoint. But that being said, ChatGPT's ability to generate images has been improved a lot. So I expect it'll continue to get better. Amon Manga said, when emoji reactions on Threads? Probably soon. I have some ideas for reactions in general. They're probably going to come to Threadcast first, in various forms. So, yeah, I one of the most exciting features to me that is upcoming, outside of like shorts and some of the other stuff we've talked about, is um, the Only Leo's subscription platform, or Leo subscriptions, whatever we decide to actually name it. You'll be able to do a lot of cool stuff in Threadcasts. And if you want a kind of example of what that looks like in the real world, I would look at like a Twitch TV chat, where there's like subscriber only modes, a lot of subscriber features, subscriber private chats and all sorts of things like that, gifting, and various other things. So that is a lot of those subscriber features are going to be coming to the platform, where you'll be able to subscribe to your favorite authors and other people on the platform, and then the Leo token will take a small cut of every subscription, a very small cut. So it'll be a lot more efficient to be here than something like a Substack. And we're really going to be chasing after like Substack, Twitch.tv. We're gonna, kind of how our approach has been evolving over time, where we kind of take the best of every platform and then bring it to Leo. That's kind of what we'll be doing. So, being a subscriber of someone will be like being a subscriber to their Substack, where you can get private articles and paid paywall blog posts, etc. But then it'll also be like being a Twitch.tv subscriber, where if that same author does Threadcasts, you'll be a subscriber within their Threadcasts as well. So a lot of really cool features that we can build on that subscription model. But yeah, like Mitch said, we're pulling up to the end here. I don't know if you guys have any closing thoughts about the market that you want to throw in there before we jump off, but I think we're caught up on most of the questions here.
Yeah, I would have to say, don't get into meme coins.
I will counter that with gamble, gamble, gamble. My thought
Yeah,
on the market is I'm glad Bitcoin's back in the mid 60s, back kind of in the range that it was in for the last few months. So that's price positive at least.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting as quick of a recovery for Bitcoin as what we've seen. But I have been happy with it. So obviously happy that the market is doing decent or at least recovering a little bit. It's like we said, there's a lot of interesting narratives shaping up in this market, and I think there's a lot of attention right now on the politics that are happening. Obviously you've also got the Fed. So you've got a lot of things kind of coalescing this year. I think it's pretty likely that we still see a rate decrease by the end of this year. So I'm still kind of playing for that. I think by the end of this year we'll see Bitcoin over 100K. That's been a long time, belief of mine. Obviously you never know, but
That would be awesome.
I think so.
I think that, the environment is setting up for that possibility. I mean, obviously crypto is worldwide. So, what the US does isn't, a complete, solo impact, but everything's speculation. And it's like just the fact that, Trump's VP candidate is pro crypto, was a positive thing and, makes people obviously more bullish on crypto. So just things like that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I would love to see a six-figure Bitcoin and cry about how I don't have enough Bitcoin when it happens.
You can never have enough Bitcoin. That's the
Yep.
that's
All right.
the dilemma.
Well, I mean, I am still banking on the fact that I am just going to buy a lot of altcoins and just hope that they outpace Bitcoin at a so much better rate that I can just have the amount of Bitcoin I would have had I bought in 2013. So
I like it. I mean, there's no guarantees, but I like the you know, thesis of that strategy.
Yeah.
as long as you don't sell into fiat, I mean, you might be there, like you might get there.
Yeah.
So we'll
Well,
see.
yeah. I mean, Bitcoin's had a good run, and obviously Bitcoin dominance is up. So, I mean, I feel like that's a good calculated, investment. So hopefully it plays out for you.
Yeah.
Cool deal. Well, hopefully next week we'll be talking about 75K Bitcoin.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, and hopefully we will be talking about Leo shorts as well, but we'll see.
Nice.
Like I said, lot of work needs to be done on that architecture. So be ready is all I can say. Be ready.
No doubt.
Sweet. Well, thanks guys. Thanks everybody for joining in the audience. We will see you tomorrow for Chain Chatter. Eric and I are going to work on getting the announcements out and the space scheduled probably by the next like 2 or 3 hours. So keep your eyes open for that, and then set a reminder and retweet it, spread the word. I still think Chain Chatter is going to be a big way for us to onboard new users. So yeah, noon Eastern tomorrow. We'll see you there. Next AMA will be the 23rd of July, next Tuesday.
Yes.
Word.
Cool.
See you
See you
guys.
guys.